This single panel tells us everything we need to know about Sojo. Without a single line of dialogue, I think Hokusano foreshadows Sojo's obsession with power, his relationship with Kunishige, and the trauma that shapes his entire worldview. Every detail, from the floating corpses to the flowers beneath his feet, seems to contribute to that story. The first thing our eyes are drawn to is the sky. Instead of clouds, Hokusano fills it with floating corpses. What's interesting is that many of them appear to be wearing suits. Throughout Kagurabachi, suits are usually associated with people in positions of power, whether they are members of the Kamunabi or figures from the criminal underworld. I think Hokusano intentionally removes the distinction between these two groups. Throughout the story, they're enemies, but here they are reduced to exactly the same thing: victims. One way to interpret this is that neither political power nor criminal power means anything against the overwhelming force of the enchanted blades. If that's the case, then this panel may foreshadow Sojo's future, where his pursuit of power places him in conflict with both worlds. Then our attention shifts to the flowers. To me, they resemble Japanese primroses. If Hokusano intentionally chose this flower, its symbolism becomes really interesting. White primroses are often associated with mourning, remembrance, and innocence. I think that fits perfectly with a child witnessing unimaginable destruction. But Hokusano doesn't stop there. Blood begins falling from the corpses above. What's fascinating is that primroses naturally thrive in moist, shaded environments. The corpses provide the shade, the blood provides the moisture. If this symbolism is intentional, death itself creates the conditions for new life to grow. As the blood stains the flowers, I think the flowers become a metaphor for Sojo himself. His innocence becomes permanently stained by violence. Rather than simply witnessing tragedy, he begins to be shaped by it. Another detail I love is Hokusano's use of contrast. The upper half of the panel is dominated by darkness. The lower half is almost entirely white. To me, this creates a visual contrast between life and death, innocence and violence, hope and despair. Then blood falls between both halves. I think that's the moment these two worlds collide. Rather than showing us Sojo's transformation directly, Hokusano lets the environment tell the story. Then we finally look at Sojo. Hokusano positions him using a composition called the Ruken figure, where the subject faces away from the audience. I think this is one of the most powerful choices in the panel because we can't see Sojo's face. Hokusano never tells us what we're supposed to feel. Instead, we are invited to project our own emotions onto him. Some readers may see grief, others may see awe, others might even see fascination with the power that caused this destruction. That ambiguity makes the panel even stronger. His raised arms adds another layer. One interpretation is that he's reaching towards someone he lost. Another is that he's reaching towards the overwhelming power responsible for this tragedy. If that's true, this could quietly foreshadow the obsession that will define his entire life. I don't think this panel is only about Sojo. I think it's about humanity. Against this impossible sky, Sojo looks incredibly small. To me, Hokusano is showing how fragile human beings become when confronted with forces beyond their control. Whether those forces are war, violence, or the overwhelming power of the enchanted blades. That's why I think this is one of Hokusano's greatest pieces of visual storytelling. He doesn't simply tell us who Sojo is, he invites us to interpret him. Every symbol in this panel seems to point towards the same ideas: trauma, obsession, violence, and the loss of innocence. Before Sojo ever explains himself, I think Hokusano already has. I'd love to hear your interpretation of this panel, so please leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, a like really helps the channel. Next, we're exploring the importance of charm. So if you're interested in deeper analysis of manga, anime, films, and music, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.